And Moobs, I want you to know, man to man, regardless of what happens today, you are, in fact, enough. But, Marks, the question is, does Winthrop University have enough to take on what is, as the desk mentioned, a continuously scaling M80 that has yet to debut this veto-ridden comp on Abyss? That being said, seems like WU have their own answers, with Sim touching this Yoru for the very first time this split. The only other time WU used the Asian is when Fair did it on Bind. So, gonna be interesting to see how they switch things up, but ultimately, like Roy said, this is the map that requires the least, divergence and overthinking and extra planning, because you had to send 2 of your players to Los Angeles. Weird circumstances. Well, M80 choosing to start out on this attack half after WU, once again, as the desk mentioned, have been picking this as their first map week to week.
Concealment.
The Yoru being that only change. M80 running in with Bonnie on this waylay. Definitely a lot of eyes on how he's developing this stage after having such an incredible year last season. M80 have pretty convincingly taken up the B site, dealing with Fair. Sim on a very quick flank, but already 2 members of M80 extending to watch for him. Made it back up to the window, though, unfazed, and Bonnie, right after grabbing another pick for himself, will fall to him. Now Sim trying to extend, but he's caught, and no one else from WU can compress in time. Moves now trying to extend down main, and there's just too many angles to check. M80 have 4 standing against a lonely recoil that has to tuck into so much, including some of his own ex-teammates that would know how to play against these guys like the back of their hand more than anybody else walking into this. Another fun aspect of the matchup, but M80 taking a nice convincing pistol on a relatively slow, I suppose, by Abyss standards, takeover of it, but you know, you got room to breathe here.
Yeah, you absolutely do. I'm back. Let's get this game started.
I missed you, man. I missed you so much.
Moves was more than enough, and so they just decided that I wasn't going to be in the cast for the first round. But, you know, that's kind of how it happens. Is maybe, like you said, they're able to walk away with that round. And let's see how they want to be able to make this one happen, because it was a very decisive take that they showcased last time. But Winthrop University stacking themselves up, anticipating a lot of this pressure just outside of that B site. So it is a bit of that gamble stack to try and find that opportunity, really, to really overpower their attackers. And yet still, it is going to be a little bit more slow, a little bit more patient from M80, trying to catch any of the members of Winthrop University, kind of overextending and then making this a very decisive round.
I like seeing M80 get to plant Alvin again, taking on this veto. Not often they'll probably let him do it. Just have such an easy gun advantage. He can solo this stack, no problem. Looking good. I mean, we had high expectations for M80 coming into the season, let alone this late into it already. It seems like, you know, while they definitely didn't come out guns blazing entirely, they've gotten better and better as these weeks have progressed. And I mean, they certainly haven't had the easiest schedule so far. No. This game being no different, regardless of whether or not the subs were here.
It's one of those things, right, where it's like, we've got M80, this new Frankenstein together roster, up against the ship of Theseus in Winthrop University, replacing pretty much all of their parts except for moves, like the desk was kind of highlighting. And so a lot of questions kind of being raised, but I love the point that the desk made about, as time going on, this team chem debuff is going to get lower and lower. And already we're starting to see some of that come to fruition in M80. They started things out being very hesitant when they were pushing in, very hesitant and honestly a little bit disjointed on some of their attacks. But I'm hoping that that is getting better and better as these weeks continue, as the squad starts to meld a lot more. Sim with an excellent pick on GMD right off rip.
You could say the same for, you know, these additions for Sim and Recoil coming into WU now that they've had this time, and you're already seeing the change making here on Abyss. Clearly, they're theory crafting, they're continuing to lab. They don't know, you know, how long this tenure is going to be. Recoil holding his own with his Phantom on the A choke. They're going to try and squeeze him, but it's tough. Once again with the gun diff, they'll make it work. Alvin actually picked up that distance really quickly. And he's going to pop that Evo in this 2v2, in fact.
Great little communication there. Now let's see how this works. Strong Tall Guy and Fair approaching from 2 different angles here. I'm imagining that they're going to be playing off of that single flash that they've got as soon as Fair gets ready. But actually, a little bit of an interesting wraparound here. M80 decide to push all the way back, and so the flankers might just get flanked.
Jeez, yeah. Oh, it's temporarily watched by Fair, but just not enough active attention paid to it. Kind of just felt like you're, you know, going through the motions there for WU's reapproach, and M80 take advantage of that quick lack of breath, take away the bonus, and Alvin is 10-0-0. Are you kidding me, dude?
Spike down.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, Alvin has been a player, obviously a highlight player, not even on the duelist role, which I think in Challengers specifically, a lot of people overlook some of these players, but Alvin has been putting on heaters after heaters all throughout last year, including this year as well. And once again, at 10-0, already used the ultimate, by the way, which is kind of crazy for round 3. But still, M80 look like they don't show any signs of slowing down here. So Winthrop University, they tried to put in a little bit of damage, but Derek immediately slapping Sim down. Look at this, GMD already waiting for this push-up.
Yeah, conditioning some very easy punishments so far. Yeah, they know the WU's just gonna give it a go there.
Now it's just so tough, right? Because for Winthrop University, a lot of that synergy, a lot of the sparks that we got to see on that previous roster. You know, coming into Challengers, we were expecting to see Infiltrator and Governor alongside moves. Of course, we get to see kind of the call-up in order to sub for crew from Infiltrator as well as Governor. And that just kind of led to this team that had to get thrown together in order to try and make these ones work. And so a lot of that very promising synergy, it's just struggling a little bit more coming into the first part of Challengers here. As once again, M80, they're taking more time and they're only getting more and more comfortable playing off.
Taken out.
Well, Recoil and Strong Tall Guy both able to find their first stabs, so they're on the site
Right here.
with room to spare. GMD just with that smoke setup, pretty obvious where he's standing from, but Nova Pulse plus the Gravity Well, that is a nasty double dog there that nets M80 a 4th round. And the 9 players apart from Alvin have finally combined exceeded the amount of kills that he has, so glad we've reached that checkpoint.
Oh man, if we Megazord together, then maybe we can rival Alvin's
just
score.
about.
Yeah, but still, it's good to see some of these other players coming online. One of the things that I've been looking at M80 specifically and wanting to see them grow is how they use their utility to play off of one another. And I think that last round was a really good example of that. We want to see those clear comms happening. A lot of that kind of hesitation and, you know, mistiming of utility getting swept under the rug a little bit more, nice and tidied and cleaned up, so they have nice, easy takes and kills.
Conversion paths just to cut through the majority of the A site. Still gonna stick around for a moment after getting hit by that recon dart. They don't want to get double procced on the pack, but yeah, I think they know you're here. So yeah, just duke it out. And M80 winning their fights very convincingly to the point where WU might already just save. Yep.
Yeah.
Taking that back.
Whew, man.
It's so tough for WU to get things done right now because with Moobs on that chamber, we know how they like to play around the chamber. Moobs has a lot of responsibility on his back, but the same can be said for the rest of the team. Once again, coming to the synergy on why this chamber composition works is the rest of the team can be that reliable anchor and overpower the people pushing through, while Moobs is going to be good for 1 or 2 kills just on the other side to keep the opponents guessing. Right now, it doesn't really feel like, unfortunately, a lot of the members of Winthrop University can kind of come online in that same synergistic style. We're still seeing, like, you know, Sim, Recoil, one of them having to poke out alone and going for the swing to try and gain information without much backup. And in those moments, a lot of those fundamentals that M80 are kind of bringing to the board are going to just help them win things out, whether or not it's a trade or being able to find their shot. And so for Winthrop University, we need to see them playing off of another just a little bit more and introduce a couple more issues with how M80 are attacking in on the site.
Yeah, it's really tough when you know WU is trying to rely as much on like fundies as possible to get them by, and you're playing against the team that on paper had the best fundies coming into this entire stage. Moves with that operator, gets swarmed. Love Paint holding so close to this
Right there. Spike planted.
forward approach. And seeing him on this KO is very entertaining. Early retake on top of what is left of the flashes. Jeez.
Yeah. For a second there, I thought Paint got that kill, but actually it was just the shorty. I was like, oh, that would have been crazy. What is that flick, man? Oh, but yeah. I mean, 6 rounds in a row right now for M80. Generally speaking, like, Alvin hasn't really found a kill outside of those first 3 rounds, and that's totally okay, because now we're starting to see the other members of M80 start to find their opportunities in just playing Valorant and moving through and clearing things out systematically. Whereas Winthrop University, especially when it comes down to some of those more patient pushes, they're just kind of getting caught off guard before they can really enter into anything. You know, they're coming into this composition. 2 of their members can flash through. They've got recoil to be able to get that information. And Fair as well should be able to set up a lot of those stuns, a lot of those smokes away. I want to see them start to use more utility traps, or when they push in, section off parts of the map so that when those retakes happen, they can focus in on little zones and then play off the flashes in order to make things happen. But it still feels like they're going in one by one, you know, trying to take their timings or getting caught off guard by M80. And as a result of that, you know, if they don't find those initial kills, it all falls apart, because M80, it's always multiple people swinging out at you at the same time.
Yeah. If anything, right now, I'm looking at Sim and Recoil is not, I mean, not just top fragging, but like doing the most coordinated play than anybody else on the team so far, which is funny because coming into this, you would think that, you know, I mean, Sim and Recoil were very smart choices by WU considering the circumstances they were put under, because as proven on TSM, their mechanical baseline is so good that you can kind of just plug and play them and let them, you know, do their thing and have a lot of trust that they're going to be able to hold their own and stay on a decent leash. Even, you know, Sim has gotten pretty good at that discipline in the past year or so. But I mean, the fact that that conjoined chemistry that those 2 individually have with each other is netting them arguably so far more connection on retakes than the actual takes from the core team. It's, I don't know, I can't tell if it's concerning or exciting, because I don't know where the floor sits for either side of that.
It just depends if it works, right? Like, that's
right.
The thing, that's
well,
the
so far it's 0-6. So.
Yeah. Oh man, and in the midst of all of this, because of the KO ultimate, Moves completely has to back off and respect that one. And so this kind of ethos of stacking one site, having one person control middle, and having Moves watch the other side, it completely falls apart. The rest of Winthrop University now arrived. Let's see how they want to take this.
Bonnie's already upstairs. Should be prepped for that. Flash for flash. Paint's on it better. Hunter's Fury to follow. I mean, you don't even need it, dude. But why not? You're going to get one back in a couple rounds. Derek's just been like that this split. And, I mean, we're really doing some decent padding to start off this attack. I'm not saying that this is going to be the trend for the entire match, but certainly wouldn't be surprised if it is, because M80 looks, I mean, beyond certain right now.
Yeah, and there's the one thing where, like, the first couple of rounds, they're coming in there, I'm like, wow, look at these util combos. I love this. I love smart Valorant. And then you have a round like that where it's just like, oh yeah, they're just hitting all their shots, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're finding the timings, they know when to push out, they know where to expect their opponents, and are consistently catching the Winthrop University members off guard. A little bit of a swap up from Winthrop, this time putting Moves all the way over, but this is gonna be a dicey one.
That's not a fadeaway smoke. I'm just having Moves sit inside this with a quick scope operator. Now the interceptor up on the push. Alvin gets that? Kill onto... Okay, and then it gets traded back. Sim from the back line. Does like a distraction. That's 2. Make it a 3v2 retake. Sim! See, he just does it all on his own, man. Insane. Already feeling so fluid on this Yoru too, just able to kind of let go of a flash or 2 whenever he needs to be self-sufficient, which in this context, it clearly seems like he needs to be. Still though, job as easy as can be for this 2v1. Derek looking a little higher than he needs to. And WU is on the board succinctly. They have ults to spare too. It wasn't a full dump.
Yeah, I mean, once again, exactly like you said, Sim just kind of taken over that time. You know, decides I'll just do this myself. I got to win us around here. Winthrop up to their first round after 8. And honestly, good adaptation. Recoil lets the Hunter's Fury go, and immediately we get to see just the flood through happen. The Waylay pressuring the Silva right off the rip, meaning that they have to kind of cancel the ultimate, which is just such a smart heads-up play from M80. But at the end of the day, that buys just enough additional space to allow Sim to kind of go in there and kill. And, you know, Tedric, I still continue to worry because if the win condition is really just Sim has to find solo kills and be able to clear things out, kind of pulling the rest of the team up, that is concerning, especially with how much discipline we've been seeing from this M80 squad thus far.
A Cosmic Divide for this approach. That's a great ulti for the A split. Love it. With the aggression that M80 had as well, Alvin turns back and nails fair. Clean as can be. And yeah, like you said, if hero moments from Sim are the only thing that WU can use to get a leg up here, then this team is stuck in the past in more ways than one. Still got to hold your own against Paint, and yeah, Recoil has no trouble with it. Wow, WU, I mean, everybody walks it down that time around. Recoil, Moobs, and Sim all win their fights. The most consistent plug-and-play members of WU this tenure.
And at the same time, like, you just take a look at that. They made sure that they were buddied up when taking those duels. Okay, and I you know, that sounds like such a basic thing to do. But given off of the last series that we saw where everyone was kind of taking their individual fights, and on a lot of these early rounds, we're seeing the members of Winthrop University go exploring without having a lot of backup. Like, you just see immediately how much of a difference that can make here. And so, great stuff coming through. Obviously, the shots landing makes a huge difference, but Winthrop now find 2 in a row. Still, the economy looking good for M80. More than enough to be able to buy up for the next round as well. But still, at this point, this is going to be that changing point. Are M80 going to continue to walk away with this and continue to secure their lead? Or will Winthrop University start to turn things around in this half and really make it look like Abyss is a possible win?
Still plenty of game, still plenty of half. Yet another implant for Alvin, this time top mid. How many rotations have realistically happened up here so far this game? I mean, it's like, it's STG, maybe, moving between, but yeah, tough to find any individual pressure here. Instead, you got to take the set itself, and they will start doing that just as Alvin gets that timing on the press. Well done. And now he can patrol top mid, where indeed you got one member rotating from. It's Moobs, who will walk that down, but the rest of M80 securely have that A site and a couple extra seconds on the spike that have already burned away. Moobs, alone for the time being, is already starting to outstretch. That operator's dangerous, but Bonnie's quick with it. And that should be all the shutting down they need. WU are a fair distance away from this, but Fair will make up that distance quite quickly after nabbing that extra kill. Oh, that's a nasty way to grab the double, isn't it? Paint finishing off STG and then turning right onto the 1. You don't even need the extra help, and it's 8-2.
I just want to call out something there, which I think is just so smart from M80, and it's a little bit of a micro play, but it just shows how well these players are kind of adapting off of one another. We see GMD obviously post plant. You want to run your Astro away. You want to make sure that you can play off of the stars there. You know, use the suck, pull them away, do all those types of things, right? So GMD just kind of running it down, breaks the door, immediately goes through. And then Bonnie swings off of that, understanding that Winthrop University heard that noise and are going to be looking that way. It's just a small little coordinated play that really just shuts down Winthrop University's chances of that retake. And those little moments are going to matter. Moobs wanting to play with a big old sniper rifle, won't be able to do that, getting shut down from the 0 point, but will be able to successfully escape after a little bit of a help with that star.
Decent trade of space, but M80 doesn't fully take it. Yeah, you can just condition that Alvin is probably there because he was last round. WU, for all they know, can't take a single step through that bridge until too much presence is confirmed elsewhere, which is it is about to be. Big knife on the B approach, actually. right in front of it, and STG stays close. Grabs one, Paint taking the hit so GMD can recover and keep the personnel advantage decently wide. Moves to go for the flank, quickly shut down by Derek. Yeah, you run out of answers so fast once a collapse like this happens. And this is the point in which, you know, M80 just makes it look so easy because they decide the rounds within that push. Everything else just looks so piecemeal and late to the party, just not cohesive enough. And again, that takes time and normally the players that you had signed for the season. But again, WU is working with what they've got and really giving it their best here. You have some ultis for the last round of the half. You have a gun or two that you're able to buy up as well. There is a lot to still hold on to going into what will likely be a better attack half from Winthrop.
And that time around, like, we see M80 pop a couple of ults there to really secure themselves forwards. Bonnie just dying at the end there, so Recoil will be able to keep the Odin alive. But it's 100% worth it for them to pop all those ults and make sure that they punish the economy of Winthrop University, because it is the last round in the half. Sure, we're going to be seeing now Winthrop University have a couple of ultimates in their hand, but for the most part, with that weaker weaponry, it's still going to be so difficult for them to be able to find this last round. Meanwhile, all the blazing fury in their arsenal, M80 will have more than enough to be able to shut this one down. Alvin even going for an outlaw buy here, but the fact that it is the last round, aggressive play this time to try and swap things up, but Derek able to back out of there completely unscathed. So we get to see M80 slowly make their way up and take all of that middle space. Winthrop University have left this open now a couple rounds in a row.
Curious that Alvin decided to go for that outlaw. Only one player gets one shot by that. I don't know if his math was off or if he's just...
Well, he has a rifle now, so I think it was a bonus gun, you know?
Oh, we're fine. Okay, okay. He bought up an outlaw on top of his rifle. Okay.
Just rich, putting a little rich flex on Winthrop University,
yeah.
Right, yeah.
Flex on him. Y'all got student loans? That's cute. I had an outlaw. Oh, Moobs. Hey. He knows how to shut talk like that down. Rest of the checkpoints here on A site. He got the stack for it, and STG ain't checked for Bonnie on a panic run, and he makes it work. Oh, 1v1 sim. But there's still so much to do, right? I mean, this is impossible, especially in the last round of the half. You have the Cosmic Divide to reapproach.
Virgin Path's online, though.
You gotta confirm both positions, and a lot of noise being decently made here. When does he decide to proc it? There's the... Oh, early peek out. Gets both in the ulti. Fair's in front of it, just needs one shot, misses into the spray from the shotgun, knocks Bonnie down to 2. Cosmic Divide will still shield Moobs. On the step in, saturate, Moobs holding the half.
Moobs.
He's gonna hold it all the way, Bonnie! An exclamation point off a 10-2 half.
Switching sides.
M80 will prove to be better however they see fit. And they need just 3 more rounds to seal that away here on Abyss.
Oh, you feeling good sitting back over there when I was like, oh yeah, Convergent Pass online. And you're like, I don't know about that one, Chief.
Dude,
well, look what happened.
That's unreal.
Great play there. I mean, there's no way to describe that. You see the Convergent Paths go, like you said, it catches both of them. The Cosmic Divide is played off of, but it's just so aggressive from Winthrop University that they think that they're going to be able to find that kill. And as a result of that, it slips through their fingers. M80 up 10-2. Such a dominant start on this map right now. And once again, we have not seen M80 on this map, but everything looks really good from this team.
Epic Bandit display showcase coming from Alvin here. Oh, gets hit by that. It gets hit by everything.
No way,
he still
man.
gets 1. Oh, no way he gets 2.
My.
You're joking, dude. You're joking.
Bonnie on the flank right now.
Pretty cool gun.
Might be able to find a good timing too. 4v3 on this retake.
Bonnie's quick to it. Fair behind the boxes. A lot to check individually. Oh, sees the gun though, but he's got tunnel vision. And everybody's looking at way too much. Nothing's guaranteed. Everything is ground floor and simplified by WU. Go figure, they take the pistol against the 4-man retake. That site is looking strong.
And once again, like Alvin being the highlight player round after round. The Deaths talked about how that solo anchor is just so darn good. And yeah, Alvin has been putting on a dominant performance, and now that we're swapping around, having M80 on this defense, I'm anticipating that we're going to be seeing more of those pop-off moments, with the Bandit being able to find two, despite the overwhelming tides that Winthrop University are just running things down. Really made it seem like there was a chance there for Winthrop to be able to win that one, or sorry, for M80 to win it out. Winthrop walk away with the round. It's going to be an aggressive push out for M80 out of that A site. Zalvin shouting out Gentlemates on the other side, basically one number away from M80 there. But
That's basically the same organization.
I mean, at this point, you know.
They are orgs of the people. You gotta hand it to them.
That's true. People love Gentlemates.
Just looking for an explosive stack here, and maybe Nor feels like the best way to go about it. Moves his position will be confirmed, but not collapsed on, because he has that trademark. Or the rendezvous, excuse me. Oh, caught on the crawl. That's ballsy for them to like decide to keep even just two there, but GMD lands that. Yeah.
Time to jump.
Think you lose maybe one more here?
It was an interesting idea from M80 that time around. Wrapping two members around, going for a little bit of a push. Again, sticking to that hall pass buddy system. But still, weaponry, especially with Sim feeling it, it's just simply not going to work out here. So should be a clean last part of this round.
One
For
enemy remaining.
We're out of here. Let's run up this next round. I mean, like, just so far from these first two rounds of Winthrop, it feels like they're divvying up their responsibilities not just like equally, but I think properly across this space. Like having it be Moobs followed by Sim followed by STG to be the ones to take the brunt of the hit, purely because they know they can tank as much as possible. I think is a great way to kind of keep that inertia from the aggression you pose onto a site into the post plant, because you can just keep moving forward and then have that backup TP for two of your players.
Yeah, and speaking of inertia, like Winthrop University on their attack have not necessarily been like unrelenting, but they're a lot more proactive than what we saw on the M80 attack. Already taking so much space onto mid, getting their players now, and what this really does is it forces M80 to have to spread out their defense on that B side a bit more. So Alvin Boy, the last person alive there.
Great plant by Sim. That's going to be more consistent than not. Derek catches it early on, but 3v4 as M80 is already making that walk up, and Moobs is not checking the right spot, but GMD can't adjust in time. Damn, Moobs! My goat, please don't leave us. Yeah, bomb rush and A. Easy peasy takeover. I don't even know if, okay, yeah, no choice. Alvin's got to take it to the face. Damn, bro, that's a great 1-2-3 hit by WU, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, one of my criticisms on the WU attack was them spreading themselves out, right? Giving up those individual opportunities for M80 to kind of take advantage of, to find those kills and end the round before it even really begins. That time around, we see Winthrop University more or less do that. Moves with a crazy flick to be able to shut down the lurker there, and then is able to find Derek right off the bat as well. And honestly, that just kind of secures the round there. The individual picks paving the way for the rest of that round. Bonnie already going far forward. Sim so aware of it. Bonnie is in a lot of trouble right now.
No way out. Yeah, the knife forced him to be by himself, so Pain's gonna decide to collapse in on that. So is GMD. To be so committal to play for just one and then lose two, I wonder how often M80 would try to go for something like that with this diff.
And honestly, Winthrop University there, great job playing anti-flash based off of that one. Allowing only one kill to go through, given the fact that that was an M80 flood in off of the flash. They make sure to counter that completely, and sure, Bonnie a little bit difficult, given the fact that only the Marshal in hand, but still it mitigates a lot of the potential damage that M80 could have walked away for free with.
30 seconds
No real
left.
answer here.
Spike planted.
That should be a nice, easy cleanup. At this point, your M80. This defense has simply not been working out so far, and it's tough because the synergy that I talked about with Winthrop University's players, specifically looking at moves kind of being that individual anchor with the rest of them kind of playing as a cohesive unit. On the attack, we're seeing them get forced to play as that style, right? The four members have to move in together. The four members have to push in and take things decisively. Doing a good job of utilizing that double initiator utility to flush M80 out.
Last player standing.
Yeah, you've got to overwhelm before you can conquer, and M80, I don't think, can properly whelm even this round either. Oh no, they can. They'll be fine. But still, the cycle's not online, which is the thing that they're still playing catch up on here. GMD is one away from the divide, so maybe if they go for aggression on an orb again, but it's just now that you have rifles, you can't really justify that because you've been losing so many in the process. And again, it strikes me as very odd that M80 is going for these collapses so early on in rounds when you can stall things out to like 25 seconds left, put WU in panic mode a little more consistently here. Or at least bottleneck them a little harder. But WU have been so damn slippery.
Yeah.
Sim and moves in particular, just consistently being able to fry on whatever LOS they've been planted on, and moves on another nasty one.
And in the meantime, Sim's able to rescue that ultimate orb, so now the dimensional drift is online as well. Just feels like the plan is 3 rounds ahead for Winthrop University. They've got all the tools that they need. They should be able to engage off this strong tall guy. Also has the KO ult, so it should be easy. M80 Derek, though, finds moves. Not going exactly how Winthrop planned.
Ooh. Yeah, Sim standing alone there. WU still on the site. Unable to at least re-outstretch.
One enemy remaining.
We're still kind of do-si-doing around this spike, though, and STG now by himself. Yeah, one more flash, he'll sentence it. Alvin with a 3-piece to get M80 on the board this half. Took him a second, and even still, it looked like they were a little slow to the problem, but they were able to sequence out the individual takes, and all of a sudden, STG by himself after maybe Sim kind of let go of the trigger a little too early on that drift, and in addition, moves losing that fight against Derek kind of early on in that approach let M80 kind of pay their full focus to it.
And Derek's been one of those players that, if you've been watching this reform of M80, has just been consistently solid for the team. Obviously, coming from that tier 1 environment down to tier 2, it feels like there's been so many chances and opportunities for the other team to kind of make it so that Derek's in these like 1vx scenarios, but still either does a lot of damage or is able to almost come down swinging. And if you take a look at how that Sova's been playing the map, there is still that like individual responsibility that Derek has been taking in being very solid. The util from the Sova right off the ramp, the recon, all of that type of stuff gets utilized exactly how you want it to go. And then Derek just kind of sends it down, goes into these weird off angles, and is trying to play for these opportunities to take people down. But of course, makes it a lot easier when you've got Alvin being such a strong anchor on that site. That time around, the heroics, the multi-kill, resulting in a round win for M80. And now M80, they've got 3 of their own ultimates online here. The Evolution, Hunter's Fury, and Cosmic Divide. 3 really good tools to counter how Winthrop want to play. So curious to see how they're going to be trying to play counter to this, as it's going to be very aggressive from 2 of the members of M80 as they take this advancement onto moves.
That knife does shout him out. So, yeah, not particularly convinced to try to go for this, especially when you know Alvin won't be phased by any of the flashes that WU has in its arsenal. You just make the dash over to the B site because you know that there's 2 planted so deep up A main. No way could M80 possibly have enough to take on this push.
And the fact, too, that Alvin's all the way over there, right now, this is all up to GMD to be able to stall things out.
Yeah.
Moves putting the trip down, keeps that push-up honest. while he moves up and takes all that space onto mid. And look at this, like M80 have to weaken their defense, accounting for that chamber.
And Moobs also heard the jump over from Paint, so they know that there's maximum 2 players on this B site right now, and now they know who they are. Derek has made it back in time, though, and is launching that Hunter's Fury downstream, not hitting that default site, though, as Recoil will get the spike down pretty convincingly. Moobs still here on mid and not checked for 2. On that flank, Alvin can at least hold on to that, and with the armor coming back his way, he'll have about 60 effective health to work with on this retake, but Sim continuing to raid boss it up. Pain can end up winning that duel, and now the late Hunter's Fury from Recoil right in the middle of this fight causes so much havoc, forces M80 to repay attention to these bottlenecks, but now it is those 2 initiators stuck from the spawn. Only one angle to check from Alvin holding the spike. GMD playing police for long enough for Alvin to just get to hold it, and M80 make it to 12 by the skin of their teeth.
I was gonna say, like, we're like, oh yeah, okay, we'll pop the evolution right off the rip here. It's an aggressive play from Alvin. Let's see how, oh, and they completely missed all the util because Winthrop aren't pushing here. Wait a second, let's just get Alvin in evolution to stick the spike plant because you know they're gonna be trying to play off their utility to deny you. And as a result of that, GMD playing it forwards. And then, yeah, at this point, like, Recoil has to just kind of go in there because none of that utility is gonna be effective against the veto. And so a little bit of a cheeky play there. Moobs almost turning the round around for Winthrop University. But now M80, they're at map point here. They're ready to close out their opponent's map pick. They just need this first one. And look at this, already taking so much space in middle, while Winthrop University look to do a 5-man rush on A.
Yeah, would be important to get it done now. Stop this before it can get really crazy. That is a 5-man knife. Nobody on WU can do a damn thing but watch that kill feed run down the screen. Wow. M80 will take a relatively convincing victory on Abyss. Once again, it is not the peak that everyone expected, but here in the 1-2s, it'll be enough for now.